Hello, my name is Julie and this is KS Mom Crochets, and today is the 2024 wrap-up video. So for the past 2 years, 2022 and 2023, I did what I call a wrap-up video, and that just basically tells you all what did I accomplish this year. It's not anything to like brag about or anything like that, but it is fun for me to make this video. So I thought, hey, I will get on here and do it again, even though this year was definitely not as good as the previous years. But that's okay. So yeah, I do have a list of goals that I want to share with you all, and they're basically the same as they were last year. I say goals loosely because I don't really set goals for myself. Like I don't have, well, I want to complete this many projects, or I want to make this or this or this. Mine are like very loosely based things that I think that I will be able to accomplish. And just things that I want to be mindful of to do in the coming year. But first of all, I want to say Happy New Year to everyone that is watching. I hope that 2025 is full of joy and happiness for all of you, and I appreciate you all being with me no matter how long it's been. If this is your first video or you've been with me since the beginning, I appreciate each and every one of you for sticking with me on this YouTube journey. It has been so much fun. It really has. You know, I, I I feel like 2024 was a very hard year for me, both personally and mentally, and even with YouTube. I really struggled to get videos out for you all, to crochet, to have motivation, especially September, October, November, those months. Probably around July, I would say, is when it started the worst for me. Seems like July to December is so hard on me. So yeah. Anyway, I hope that 2025 is a whole lot smoother and that is better. I hope that it's better, and I feel like that I have learned some things along the way, and that I will apply those to my YouTube journey in the future as well. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Second of all, I want to share this beautiful Christmas card that I got from my dear friend Edna. She has been with me for, oh, I don't even know, long time, and I just appreciate you thinking of me, Edna. And we have become really good friends through YouTube, and yeah, so I just wanted to thank you for the card and share that beautiful card with everyone. So I'm just going to start off with my very first page. This is my crochet journal that I have used for the past 2 years, and I have some pages left, but not many, so I will be starting a new crochet journal this year. That will probably take me through to 2026. So first of all, I keep all of my ball bands. So here are all of my ball bands for 2024, and I counted them. I added up all the yardage because that's something that I do. I also keep track of all of my projects in here, and I counted up all of my completed projects as far as like looked at what whips I have, and just whips that I have left over from previous years as well. So I had 41 ball bands, which is pretty good. It's pretty good considering that I took quite a big, like in the beginning of the year, in the beginning, January, I had like 20 something projects I completed in 1 month. Like I started out the year very strong, and I ended the year with one project. So, I think that 41 ball bands for as much as I actually crocheted is pretty good. It's pretty good. And altogether, that was 10,842 yards. And that, I like to do this. I take and put my yardage into Google and have them convert it over to miles, because in the US where I'm from, we use miles. And that is 6.1 miles. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I had 96 completed projects this year. And so for January, I completed 23 projects. February, I completed 13. March was 17 projects. April was 20. May was 13. June was 3. July was 2. August, I completed 4. September, I completed 1. October and November, I didn't do anything. In December, I completed 1. So I can kind of see by looking at that, that's something new that I didn't do before. I was actually like break it up like that. And I can see where that I need to plan ahead for June through December, because obviously January through May is smooth sailing for me, as far as crocheting goes. And I only had 3 unfinished projects this year, which is awesome for me because I think every year I have made that number less and less, and I think that's a pretty good start, right? Only going into 2025 with 3 leftover projects. And then last year, for 2023, I had 10 finished projects. And I actually, out of those 96 projects, I completed 6 from 2023. So that's pretty awesome. And then I also frogged 2 of those. So I do have 2 that's left over from 2023, and that is my Granny Pops pullover and poor Maybelle the cow. I still have not finished Maybelle the cow. I started her in January of 2023, and she's still sitting in a bag. One of these days, I'm going to finish that cow. And that is COW. And then for this year, for 2024, like I said, I have 3 unfinished projects. I have a granny stitch blanket that I started in February. I actually did that. I think that's the one that I did on my crocheting chats that I had. I think I had 2 of those this year. I also started a filet crochet project that is almost done, and I have not finished it. It's of a rose, and I started that in May. So I need to finish that as well. And then also my Christmas blanket that I started in December, and I didn't finish. And I don't see me finishing that or pulling that back out until next Christmas. So that's pretty good. I think I'm pretty proud of myself. I mean, you know, if you go back and watch last year's video, which, I mean, you don't have to, I'm just saying. If you do, my totals were a lot higher. The year before that, they were even higher. I think the longer that I'm on YouTube, I'm able to not put as much pressure on myself as what I did during that first year, if that makes sense. So, my numbers reflect that. Now, I do have some other numbers that I kept track of, and it's in this journal that I have. It's got like all of my amigurumi books wrote down in it. I have a section of you know, I'm keeping track of my look inside videos so I don't make the same book video twice. Crochet magazine projects that I want to do, Crochet Now magazine. And then I was also doing from January to May, so for 5 months, I drew out a name of a book out of a basket, and then I would complete a project out of that book. And I did do that for 5 months, so before I fell off the wagon for that. So, I mean, that's okay, right? I didn't stick with it like I thought that I would, but I did complete 9 projects. So that really helped me complete 9 projects from 9 different books that I had never worked out of before, that I own. And, you know, I feel good about that. Even though I didn't stick with it the full year, I know why I didn't, and so it's okay. But I did keep track of how many projects that I completed for my books, and that's not, I mean, it counts the basket projects, but it's just me looking through my books and just picking a project to do at random. and I completed 24 projects from books, and I think that that is a great number. I hope next year that it'll be higher, but if it's lower or not the same, then I'm not going to sweat it. But um, I'm really happy with that number. And I also completed 7 projects from magazines that I own. I would also like for that number to be higher as well, but I'm still very happy and very pleased that I was using the, the things that I have instead of buying other things. So out of the 96 projects, I will just read off what I wrote down here. This is something new that I didn't do last year as well. I don't have everything to show you. I don't have pictures because I'm horrible about taking pictures of my projects. So I'll just tell you what I made of certain things. So I made 2 filet crochet, made 4 coasters, 8 doilies, which are these on the wall right here. I made 4 baskets, 7 washcloths and pot holders, 2 full-size blankets, 2 baby blankets, 7 doll dresses, because that's something that I really enjoy making, 5 bookmarks, 3 hats, and one of those was a baby hat, 1 baby dress. I made 37 amigurumis. 37 amigurumis over 1 year. That's a lot, and I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that. And I also made 14 like miscellaneous projects. A lot of those came from Alyssa's cow over at Coco's Crochet that she hosted last year. And I made like some appliques and just different small projects that I didn't really want to like break up individually because they were like 1 or 2 of something. So I'm really happy with that, with how many projects that I made this year. I hope that you all enjoyed seeing all my projects, because I do show probably 98% of everything that I make. I try to show here on YouTube, no matter how big or how small they are. So I hope that you all have enjoyed seeing all those projects. As far as YouTube goes, I made 24 podcasts, which is a lot lower, because I took a big break from YouTube for a while. And but I'm happy with that. I'm happy that I made 45 total videos for YouTube this year. I made 11 look inside videos, which is where I show you a crochet book, amigurumi basically, and I just take you through the whole entire book. It's not review videos because a lot of them I will not have worked out of, but I really enjoy making those videos, and that's something that I would like to continue to do. I just don't know how often. I did 2 crocheting chats and then just 8 random videos. So YouTube for 2024 wasn't as bad as I thought it was, even though, like I said, I did take a lot of breaks from YouTube. So next I'm going to talk about my goals for 2025, and then I'm going to show you my top favorite projects of 2024. And I think that that is something fun that I've never done before as well. So, number 1 on my goals, and there are 6 of them. They have categories, and then I kind of broke them down a little bit, kind of like Terry over at Yarn Joy Podcast does. And that is whips. So number 1 is whips. And what I have under that is to try to finish the projects that I have left over from 2023 and 2024. I also have 4 projects from the past. I did a whips video sometime last year in 2024, and I did one in 2023. Probably won't do that this year since I have a better like account. Like I actually wrote everything down, so I do know what I have now, thankfully. And yeah, so I have 9 total whips sitting in bags that need to be touched. I need to touch them this year. If I don't complete all of them, oh well, they'll just sit there for another year. But I would like to get that number down, and also I would like to, if I start something, finish it. if I don't finish it, then I just need to get rid of it. You know, I don't need to hang on to projects that I'm never going to finish, and that's what I have been doing. And like I said, I have only 9 sleeping whips, so you know that's not too bad. I just don't want to keep accumulating them. And I might reevaluate those in the future. I'm not sure, but for now, that number's not like overwhelming. But like I said, my goal this year is to not have so many whips. Like, you know, if I start a project and I don't like it, then I just need to frog it, toss it, throw it away, whatever, and just not hang on to it. Number 2 is yarn. And that is basically just try to use as much yarn that I have in my stash as I can. And be mindful when I do buy yarn, because let's be real, guys, yarn bands are hard to stick to. And whenever you get to the end of the year and you're like, oh man, I put myself on a yarn band and I bought some yarn, you know, you feel bad. And I don't like to set goals that set myself up for negativity. So I'm not putting myself on a yarn band, but I do want to be mindful if I do buy yarn to, number 1, make sure it's at a good price. And number 2, make sure that it's yarn that I will actually use. Because a lot of times in the past, I have bought yarn that I just wanted to try. And it would be like novelty yarn or something that I didn't really know a lot about. And then I would get it and then I didn't like it. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to accumulate a bunch of yarn that I'm never going to use. But like I said, I really do want to work from my stash. I want to eliminate some of this. Not that I have an overwhelming amount of yarn, because I really don't. I do have a lot. But I don't have as much as a lot of the people that I see on YouTube has. But I mean, what's the point of having this if you're not going to use it? So I'm going to try to use it. So yeah, so yarn is, just use what you have. Number 3 is my journal. Obviously it won't be this one. Like I said earlier, this one is 2023 to 2024, and I will be starting a new one. But continue to keep track of my projects, because I love doing that. Number 1, it helps me with my YouTube videos. Like, I can sit here and I can see all of my notes, and I don't have to, you know, I can give you the information that I feel like that I would want to know if I was watching somebody's YouTube video. And that would be basically the project name, the designer, and my hook size and yarn size that I use. But I actually do semi-detailed notes. Like, I will write down the exact kind of yarn that I use, the colorway, the hook size, what size eyes I used if it's an amigurumi. And then if I change a pattern, I always write it down, because there has been so many times that I have went back and looked through my journal for how I did a specific project so that I can make it again, especially on blankets, because I want to know how many chains did I do to make that blanket as wide as I got it. How many rows, because then I can plan out, like if I want to do stripes, well, I did that many rows on that blanket, so let's plan it out to where it's roughly the same amount of rows, and then I can plan out striping a blanket. Like, it really does come in handy to have a crochet journal. And then I'm also going to continue to save my ball bands. I can't remember. I think this is either my second, maybe it is my 3rd year doing this with the ball bands. I can't remember when I started doing that, but it's been a lot of fun. Maybe it's 4 years. I think I have been doing it for 4 years, maybe. Oh, I don't know. But anyway, it's been a lot of fun. It's fun to, you know, look and see, you know, what am I using for my stash? How many yards did I use? How many miles is that? Like, that's just a fun thing for myself. and you know, you all just get to hear about it. You get to sit here and listen to me chat about it. Number 4 is organize. I have a crochet cart that is constantly a mess. I don't use it in the living room, or I haven't been using it in the living room as much as I used to. But I want it to be what it's meant to be used for. I want it to be mobile, you know, so that if I want to leave it in here, I can leave it in here, or if I'm wanting to use it, I can wheel it into the living room. And I don't want it just junked up with stuff. I want it to have what I'm working on, and you know, maybe some extras, things that I need. But I have a really bad habit of letting my cart be like a catch-all, and I really want to try to keep that organized. So maybe going through it every couple months and cleaning it off. You know, something simple like that. It's not anything that's going to overwhelm me, but it's just something that I can do to be more productive in my crochet life. As well as organize this room. If you all could see behind you right now, you would be like, oh my goodness. I mean, I have things that need to go to Goodwill because my daughter went through her closet and she just brought it all in here. Yeah. I just took all my Christmas decorations down, and I had stuff that I sit out all year that was stored in here that I just got out. There's a bed behind you, and it's just completely piled up. Like if somebody ever wanted to sleep over, they wouldn't be able to get in the bed. So I have to, I need to organize this room. I would really love to, I did do it last year, and I went through and I organized all my yarn. I rearranged it. I bought some of these, like, these things from the Dollar Tree, which are awesome. I love them. To store my yarn in, I want to get some more of those and put the rest of this yarn in, like all this yarn. I want them all in those. I really want to be able to see some of it, so I may not put on, like, I may keep yarns that I want to use or that I want in my face up here, but I have a lot of this, like, big twist yarn that's just colors, you know, and I would like to just put those colors together because I don't really use 4-weight yarn as much as I did when I first started crocheting. Actually, for like the first 5 years that I crocheted, that's about all that I used was 4-weight yarns. And most of the time, I use 4-weight for blankets. I have gravitated more towards sport weight and DK weight, and you know, even like threads and stuff like that for doilies, and the sport and the DK for my amigurumis. So I just kind of want what I use the most over here. So that's kind of what I have planned. I would really like to get in here one day and just completely just change everything up. Number 5 is books and magazines. I loved drawing books out of baskets, but I noticed that when I drew a book out, I ended up not sticking with it. So I'm not going to do that this year. I'm not going to draw books out of baskets, but I am going to continue working out of my books. I'm going to be mindful of the books that I have not worked out of. I think what I'm going to do actually is I think I'm going to make a list of all the books that I haven't worked out of, and then a list of all the ones that I have. That way I can mark off from one list and add to the other, if that makes sense, so that I can keep track of what books that I haven't worked out of. And then I think I'm just going to, you know, look through the ones that I haven't, try to find some inspiration, and then that will be the book that I'll do. Because there was a couple times, at least one I know, that I pulled out and I was like, I'm not feeling this. I just couldn't do it. And the last ones that I drew out that I ended up haven't made them yet are projects that I do really want to make. So, I mean, I probably will get back to that. I'm just not going to draw the names out like that I did. Yeah, because, I mean, I don't know. I just don't think I'm going to do that. Um, I am going to try to work as much as I can for my books and my magazines. I have so many books, so many books. Like it's ridiculous how many books that I have. But I love them. They bring me so much joy, and even if you don't make something out of your books, it's like so much fun to just sit and look through them. Like I enjoy that so much. And I have like a ton of magazines. I have a ton of older crochet worlds that I was gifted that I haven't, looked at in a while, that I know that there's a ton of projects in there that I want to make. And another thing that I did start doing this year is every time that I would do a look inside video, I would write down what projects that I wanted to do from that book. So every look inside video, I have done that for, and I plan on continuing to do that in the future. I'm going to try to find inspiration from what I own before buying something new. It is so easy to nickel and dime yourself. That's like a saying that I say. I don't know how common that is, but that's just something that I've always heard. But I'm not going to nickel and dime myself on Etsy and other places. I'm not saying not to support designers and buy patterns, because I think it's great. I really do. But if you go through and you break it down, how much you spend on stuff like that, it really adds up. It really does. And I have so many digital patterns that I haven't even worked out of that I've bought. And so I'm going to try to be mindful of that as well this year. And I'm also going to continue to keep track separately of books that are projects that I have made from my books. So like here and here, I kept track of all of my basket drawn projects that I started and finished for 2024. And then I also kept track of what books that I did from my just regular books, or not basket drawn, but just books that I have that I just pulled out and did projects from. And there was 24, I think I said that already. And then I also kept track of the patterns that I did for 2024 out of my magazines. So I think that is something that I'm going to definitely continue to do. I'm not like super organized, so don't think that I am, because I am totally not. But when it comes to my crochet and like keeping track of projects and things like that, I enjoy doing that so much. Maybe not so much in my personal life, but I really do love doing it with my crochet. I think it's so much fun, especially at the end of the year when I get to make videos like this. It's fun. It's fun to do that. And then the last thing on my list is the big one, and it is YouTube. The first year that I was on YouTube, I put video after video. I couldn't wait to get on here and make a video. I let stuff slide so that I could come in here and make a video. I really pushed myself that first year. The second year, I really pushed myself, and then I took a big long break, and then I pushed myself again, and then this year I really pushed myself at the beginning of the year, and then I just disappeared. I would come on every couple months, and I need to find that balance with my YouTube. I need to not put so much pressure on myself, and it's not you guys, it's me. I do that because I hate disappointing people, and even though I'm not disappointing you, I feel that in my heart that I am, So I need to work on that. I need to not feel guilt when I need to step back. And I feel like that I did do that this year. I needed a break and I took it. And I continue to do that, or I'm going to continue to do that in 2025. So I don't plan on making weekly videos for 2025. I'm not going to put that pressure on myself. If I do, then that's great. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be happy that I do. But I'm not going to put like try to crank out projects so that I can make videos. I'm not going to do that this year. So I'm not sure how consistent I will be, but I will try to do better as far as not being away from YouTube for months at a time, because I really didn't like that I was like that this year. I was very disappointed in myself for being that way, even though I needed to. So I gotta find that balance. I'm gonna try to find the balance for YouTube and life and work and all that other stuff for 2025. That's my goal, and I don't think that's a hard goal to do. I just need to figure it out, you know. I'm also not going to start anything new with YouTube as far as video series. I have been so bad. I have tried so many different things in the past. I had my Featured Photos Friday that I hated to end, but I had to. I tried to do Whip Wednesday. I did the basket drawing projects out of a basket. I keep trying because there's so many things that I want to do with YouTube, but in reality, I'm just not capable of keeping up with it. And so my goal is to stick to podcasts, only. And then if I want to sprinkle in something random, then that's fine. You know, maybe a look inside video. But if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to have any new series on my channel anymore because I'm just not. I have no follow through, and it's not fair to you all when there's so many other podcasters that can stick to it, you know, and they do it well. So yeah, that's my plans for YouTube, is to just continue going through this yarny journey with you all whenever I can. And I hope that that's okay with you all. I hope that you all will stick with me and that you will see what 2025 has in store for me as far as crocheting goes. And, you know, personal life too, if I share that. So yeah. So the last thing that I want to share with you all, I know that I have really rambled on in this video and it's all me talking, so you must really like me if you stuck to the end. And I appreciate that. So the last thing that I want to talk about is my top favorite projects of 2024, and they're all amigurumis. I do have one project that I want to show again. These are all projects that I've shared on my channel. There's full videos explaining everything about them on my podcast. So if you just go back through, they're probably on the thumbnail since they are my favorites. So, you know, you can find them pretty easy. But there is one that's non-amigurumi that is really like one of my favorite things that I made all year. It was very hard to pick between these 6 projects which ones were my favorite, because I just love them all, and I wanted to keep it within projects that I have that I can show. So that is another reason for choosing these projects. So the one that is non-amigurumi is my doll dress that is on my 15-inch Fibercraft doll. And I love this doll dress so much. It is a Fibercraft vintage pattern. I think it's from the 80s maybe, called the Southern Belle doll dress. And I just love how she turned out. I'm so happy with her. I love her hat. I will totally make that hat again, even with a different dress. She was so much work. She was actually a project that I started in 2023, but I didn't finish until till 2024. So I'm very happy that I finished her. She was well worth saving. Saving the dress and finishing it, because whenever I was doing that whip video, I knew that I wanted to finish it, but at the same time, I was kind of thinking, I'm not really going to like those colors together. You know, maybe I chose the wrong colors, because in the picture, she's in this bright yellow dress. And I'm very happy with how she turned out. So I hope you enjoy seeing her again. She's a little mushed up where she's been up on my shelf over here, but I just love her so much. I'm so happy with how that turned out. So now I'm going to show you my top 5 favorite amigurumi projects. And I'm going to start from 5 and work my way back to number 1 because I think that that will be fun. And I think that you all will probably not be surprised by these because I'm pretty sure I told you all that I loved them so much when I made them. So, number 5 is little Zoe here. I love how this doll turned out so much. I made this back in April, and it came out of Lulu's Crochet Dolls book that I have. And I just love her. I love the way that these pants look. I love her little scarf. I love this doll. And that, I do have a look inside video for this book as well if you want to see the other dolls that are in this book. And it's one that I definitely plan on pulling back out, hopefully, and working out of again because this doll is definitely high on my list. I just think she's so cute. She's so adorable. So number 4 might be a little bit of a surprise because I really struggled to get through this pattern, but I really love how she turned out. And that is Peggy the Hippopotamus. And this is from Peek-a-Pow 3. And it was one of the books that I drawed out of my basket, and she was hard to get through. The hippo itself was easy. It was the skirt that was in the book, so I changed it, and I'm very, very happy with her. I'm pleased with how she turned out. And this was one of the miscellaneous projects that I did, which was a mini gift bag for Litz's over at Coco's Crochet Cow that she did. But Peggy the Hippo is number 4. Number 3 is one that I made in September. I made Peggy in April as well, in case I forgot to say that. But I made this in September, and it is my Elvis bear. And I love him. I love how he turned out. I think that he turned out so awesome with all of his bling. And Caitlin had him upstairs. I had to go get him. But I just love him. And I used Cassandra over at Craftably Ever After's Swim Time Sammy. Yeah, her Swim Time Sammy bear as a base for Elvis. And I think that he was perfect. It was the perfect pattern to use as Elvis. So I hope you enjoy seeing him again as well. And number 2 is Wilma the Woolly Elephant. And I love this. I will never get rid of this amigurumi. Like, my sister came over, and I hadn't seen her in a very long time. And she came over a few months ago, and she's like, I love that. I would take that. And I'm like, nope, you can pick something else. You can't have this. And you know, I just couldn't get rid of her. I just love how she turned out. This came out of a Crochet Now magazine, and it was issue number 60. And you can get the digital copy on the app or website Pocket Mags. Crochet Now has some new books out. I seen on Amazon, and I can't remember what the name of them are. If I have time to edit this better, I will pop up a picture of the one that Wilma is in, because they have some really good amigurumis in those books, and I just want them to have her in a book. I just want this pattern in a book because I totally would make it again. It was so much fun. I love this. This one was probably the pattern that I had the most fun out of. So that is definitely why she's number 2 on my list, is because she was the most fun that I had crocheting this year, or 2024. And then number 1 is just based solely on how proud I am of this and how much I love her, because I think that she turned out beautiful, and that is Miss Kitty Catty. And this came out of a book called Amigurumi Animals at Work, and I'm pretty sure I did a look inside video for this as well. Wilma, I had a lot more fun making her, but she was a lot of fun too. I really enjoyed making this pattern, and I just love how she turned out. Like, I'm definitely the most proud of this this pattern this year. Like, I just love it so much. I love her sweet face. I love her fingers that she has. And she was easier than what I thought. So this was a pattern that I was intimidated by for years, and you know, I finally got the courage up to make it, and it wasn't even that bad. So yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed the little visit down memory lane. I hope you enjoyed hearing me chat for, probably over 30 minutes now, depending on how much I can edit this down. And thank you all for being here again. Thank you for sticking with me and coming back time and time again and leaving me your sweet comments, encouragement, just being there for me. I really appreciate it, and I thank each and every one of you all for being my friend and for being on my yarning journey with me. And I look forward to what 2025 has in store for me and for my channel. And I look forward to getting to know all of you just a little bit better. So until next time, guys, I will see you in another video. Bye.